What is going on? Welcome to Aged and Barreled. Today we're taking a look at Springbank 12 Cask Strength. This is a Campbelltown single malt Scotch whiskey distilled out of the Springbank distillery. It has a 12-year age statement. It clocks in at 56.1% or 112.2 proof, and I picked this up for $130. This whiskey is non-chill filtered, natural color, and of course cask strength. And it is owned by whiskey producer J&A Mitchell & Company. When talking about J&A Mitchell & Company, there's a lot of threes that come up. They own 2 of the 3 remaining Campbelltown distilleries in Springbank and Glengyle. They also own a 3rd whiskey company in independent bottler William Cadenhead. Then within Springbank, there are 3 main production lines. The triple distilled unpeated Hazelburn, the roughly 2.5 times distilled lightly peated Springbank, and the twice distilled heavily peated Longrow. So earlier in the video, I mentioned that Springbank is part of the Campbelltown region, and they are barely holding on as their own region at this point. There are only 3 distilleries located in Campbelltown. However, that wasn't always the case. At one point in time, they were considered the whiskey capital of the world, with the highest density of distilleries, with slightly over 30 operational distilleries at a single time. That has rapidly changed, and then at one point in time, Springbank was the only remaining Campbelltown distillery. So it's a bit up in the air as to whether Campbelltown should even be considered a Scottish region at all at this point. Now, this specific bottle is part of batch 21, produced in 2020. It is made up of 45% sherry casks, 25% bourbon, 25% burgundy, and 5% port. Every batch has its own maturation makeup, and I believe the most recent batch is 100% bourbon. If you'd like to know which specific batch your Springbank 12 Cask Strength is a part of, the date is printed on the back bottom of the bottle, and I'm going to link a great website which does a cask breakdown for you. No tasting notes on the bottle, so let's pop the cork and give it a try. The forefront of the nose, there's lots of smoke and peat, and it takes the form of this almost like burnt rubber or like fresh bike tire. There's also red fruit and strawberry and raspberry, and then underlying elements of butterscotch, ginger, and even the cream soda element too as well. It's got such a complex, interesting palate to it. On the tongue, I get notes of burnt char, black pepper, roasted nougat, hazelnut, tons of smoke, salt water. There's a foresty vegetation element to it, and a very sweet buttercream in there as well. All right, on to the scoring section. Starting off with flavor, there's a burnt char, black pepper, roasted nougat, hazelnut, smoke, salt water, tree bark, and a touch of sweet buttercream. The strength is 56.1% or 112.2 proof. The bite is medium to high. The complexity is definitely high. And the price is pretty steep, starting around $130. This might be one of the most expensive 12-year-old scotches in current production. But hey, it's made the old way. It's made with care, focus, and tradition that only a handful of other distillers could boast. This whiskey has a bite. The high ABV is there, but in a fantastic way that lends itself to another level of complexity. Speaking of complexity, this batch in particular, exudes complexity, thanks in no small part to the array of wine casks utilized. Its flavors touch on a bit of everything: peat and smoke, salty maritime air, sweet rich fruit, spices, and more. Yet none of it is overwhelming, nor sings out of tune. Buyer beware, each batch is truly different from the last, and the high prices only seem to be getting higher. I'm giving Springbank 12 Cask Strength Batch 21 a 9.1 out of 10. All right, that's going to do it for this review. If you've had Springbank 12 before, please rate in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, enjoy.